Welcome to the Zunga Classroom, and thank you for joining us today. We are going to discuss what the Americans with Disabilities Act is, what it says, and how it applies to you. So let's get started. The Americans with Disabilities Act for Public Accommodations is called Title 28, Section 36 of the Code of Federal Regulations. The link provided goes into more depth as to what a disability is. A disability is defined as a mental and/or physical impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities and can be described in three different ways. You will need to use one or more of these to claim coverage under the ADA. The definition of a physical or mental impairment means any physiological disorder or condition, cosmetic disfigurement, or anatomical loss affecting one or more body systems. They can include neurological, respiratory, cardiovascular, digestive, circulatory, and many others. Did you know that under the ADA, major life activities are protected? Major life activities include, but certainly aren't limited to, caring for oneself and performing tasks, seeing, hearing, eating, sleeping, walking, standing, sitting, bending, speaking, breathing fresh air, learning, reading, concentrating, interacting with others, and working. The operation of major bodily functions is considered a major life activity and protected under the ADA. For example, the function of our innate immune systems, special sense organs, normal cell growth and digestion, our neurological, brain, respiratory, circulatory, and reproductive systems. The operation of a major bodily function includes the operation of an individual organ within a body system, for example, like our lungs. All this is protected under the ADA. With this information in mind, we can see that individuals may have many levels of disability. For example, an individual may have a history of heart disease in their family. They may have had discussions with their doctor, who has made lifestyle suggestions, and they may even be on some form of vitamin or drug therapy. In order to deal with this issue, the individual may have undertaken a diet of organic foods and supplements. They may be focused on strengthening their immune system. They may need to limit their stress, and they may need to increase their oxygen intake and have a practice of meditation. This same person goes to a store that provides organic foods, but is refused entry because they're not wearing a mask. The underlying history of heart disease is a disability from which certain self-care behaviors have developed, and the individual may rightly claim that they have a disability that precludes them from wearing a mask or face shield. Additionally, wearing a mask or shield may interfere with major life activities of breathing, speaking, communication, and interacting with others, and it could also aggravate the underlying disability by limiting oxygen and increase rebreathing of expelled bacteria, which then could increase their panic and their heart rate and cause dizziness or inability to concentrate. When the individual asks for an accommodation under the ADA, if they are refused because the store universally implements mitigation and control measures without any reference to the individual's condition, then they are being regarded as impaired and assumed to be a direct threat of infectious contagion without an individualized assessment, which the ADA requires. A temperature test and screening is not an individualized assessment and diagnosis of any disease. So to recap, there are three categories of disabilities: actual disability, recorded disability, and regarded as having a disability. Some people have issues they have to deal with in their lives, like getting a diagnosis of a disease or a health-related mental health type issue. That's considered recorded disability. Some people have ongoing current situations. They find that when they put on a mask, they experience shortness of breath, dizziness, headaches, or if they don't wear a mask, they experience bullying, which creates issues like panic and fear and depression. That's an actual disability. Everyone gets this one. if they don't put on a mask, they are treated like they have an infectious disease. So they are regarded as having a disability. So these are the categories under the ADA. Which ones are you experiencing? Well, this wraps up today's Zunga class. So thank you for coming and great job in learning the ADA and how it pertains to each of us. I want everyone to know that you all have received an A+ today. So class dismissed.